Happy Tuesday to everybody that's jumping on. We want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to Testinonial Tuesday. I am super excited because we are coming to you live all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between. And I have my beautiful guests on the other side of the screen on tonight. So we want to say great evening to each and every one of you out there. So go ahead and take the time to tag, take the time to share, take the time to tell somebody that the time to hear about this life-changing experience is right now. So we're going to get this started in just a few moments. Great evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to give it a few moments for everybody to jump on and to let somebody know that there's another powerful story getting ready to take place. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Gonna get it started in about another 60 seconds. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Testimonial Tuesday. Great evening to each and every one of you that are chiming in. Let somebody know we are live. Let's talk Noni.com. All right, so you can share this out, invite some people. That is where we are. Great evening, everybody. All right. We're going to go ahead and get this party started. All right. So great evening to everybody that's jumping on this Tuesday evening. We want to say hello and welcome to each and every one of you that are tuning in on this Tuesday night. And I can tell you, I am smiling from ear to ear because I have this incredible, beautiful woman on the other side of the screen with me on this evening. I want you to know, I'm not going to share too much information about her, but her story literally is shifting and shaking up the entire internet and all across the world, as literally it has gone viral. And so I want to definitely bring on this evening the beautiful Miss Deneen Majors. And Deneen, I want to say first and foremost, thank you for jumping on with me tonight. I can tell you your energy, your smile, it just lights up everybody's day every single morning. And I can tell you that I am so thankful. Nate and I, we are thankful that, you know what, we are on this journey together. So go ahead and let everybody know who you are and why you are smiling from ear to ear.
Thank you, Pam McCray, for having me. I am
Absolutely.
Deneen Majors out of Portsmouth, Virginia, and I'm smiling because life is good, y'all.
Yes, it is.
Yes, life is good.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Right. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself. What do you do? Who are you?
Okay, so I'm from Portsmouth, Virginia. I'm part salon owner. My daughter and I are partners. We own a salon here in Portsmouth, and I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. Um, and I just love to sell noni.
I was gonna say, I know for a fact that Deneen is not coming on here tonight short on words, okay? He's just not.
I
Who
just
is she
love
with?
what I just love. Listen, I just love people. Period. And so
Right.
I love to be a change agent. I like to see people's faces when I say, I got what you need.
I love it. You know what? And I love the fact that you said a change agent, because that's so powerful because that's really what it's all about in this life. How many lives, I say it all the time, how many lives can we help? How many lives can we impact along this journey? And just from the conversation that I had with you and seeing how you're just not only a hairstylist, but you are really giving back to the community. You are really giving back to so many people just simply because that is what God has put you on this earth to do. Even as we were talking, you've done so many different things just in one day, in a few hours that most people couldn't accomplish in a week, right? But
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
lines up with your personality, the energy, and all of the success that you've already had and literally walking into as we step into every new day, as we know that the best is absolutely yet to come, right? So we are on here today, and I just want you to really just start off, and we're going to take people back a little bit because we had a
Okay.
great conversation just knowing, the history and how Noni really means so much to you. So let's go
Hmm.
back, years ago, and let's talk about, why when you were reintroduced to Tahitian Noni this time around, why was it so easy for you to say yes, and what was really going on? So let's talk about that first. So why was it so easy for you to say yes?
Because I was so familiar with the product. And it was like when my sponsor called and she said, I was like, wait, what? Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. Count me in. I sold it before. And she was like, what? Wait a minute. You like the third person that said that to me. Like, why I never heard this? I say, oh, yeah, you probably weren't there. So yeah. It was just something I was doing, but I made a lot of money. I mean, it's a good product. I enjoyed what I was doing. My grandma loved it. My uncle loved it. My family loved it. My kids loved it. I said, "Look, do they got?" I asked her about a product. She's like, "Wait, I gotta ask. I don't know if they have that." But she was like, "Wait a minute, hold on." And so we had a whole long conversation about that. But for me, it was just. It felt like I was coming home to something. And so when you guys started saying "Welcome home," it felt like I was coming home to something I was familiar with. And so that's why it
Wow.
was so easy for me to say it.
Wow. So it was familiar to you. And and
It
I
was
could
very
relate
familiar.
to the fact that, like, I had never heard of Noni,
Mhm.
heard of
Yeah.
it, but I knew that it was heaven sent because as I started to mention it to my family, my brother said, after being in this industry for so long, I was introduced to it by my parents. They were in network marketing. So as a kid, I remember it. And so he's like, mommy and daddy used to sell Noni. And I was like, no. He's like, yeah, mom used to make us take it all the time. I'm like, for real? I did not remember because I remember so
Yeah.
many products coming in the house, and so many events and things of that nature. I didn't know, but I knew that it was heaven sent. And it
Mhm.
almost felt familiar just simply because
Yeah.
my parents did it. And then we launched it on my mom's birthday. And I just thought that that was
Wow.
so special. I knew it was a God connect, right? And
Yeah.
so your whole family was on it. And
Yes.
so not only were they on it, but you said you were selling Noni, right? You were
I
selling
was
it.
selling Noni. I was selling Noni. It was so crazy because my grandma was taking it and her numbers had got real good. She was 89. She was taking it and she was scared to tell her doctor because she didn't know what he was going to say because he kept saying, "You're doing something. You're doing." She said, "No, I'm not doing anything." She never told that man she was taking Noni. I was like, "Grandma, why you ain't tell him?" I didn't know what he was
Wow,
going to say, but she was 89. So what was she going to do?
right,
She didn't know.
right. But you know what? And I just want to say this too, ladies and gentlemen. We are on here today, and we are talking about some phenomenal products. And the Tahitian Noni, we are the team that's bringing back Tahitian Noni, and what Deneen is talking about, as so many of her family members were introduced to it. Many years ago, because it's been around over 30 years. And it is an incredible superfood that literally goes into your body and it helps with everything. It's going to get inflammation out of your body. It helps with your sugar levels, your pressure levels, your cholesterol levels. It's packed with adaptogens. And what adaptogens do is they go into your body, they seek out the areas that are not functioning as God intended for your body to function, and helps to literally zap it back into place. Packed with iridoids, no other fruit out there, like your oranges, your apples, they don't have iridoids, right? But noni does. And it goes back to ancient medicinal history where
Mhm.
it was used for so many different things. And what was so powerful, Deneen, is that you shared that your grandmother, she was taking it and all of her numbers were incredible, but she was afraid to tell her doctor. And it's
Right.
so unfortunate that so many people right now, they're dependent upon medications and prescription drugs and not realizing that there are alternative methods, natural methods, in which
Mhm.
we really shouldn't feel like we can't express them to our doctor just simply because they're all natural. But what I love about ours is that we have medical doctors that endorse them. We have clinical studies that prove, like, we don't have to
Yes.
talk too much. We have the studies that prove it and the certifications behind these products, right? So your whole family was on it, and
Yes.
now it comes back into your life. How did you feel when you got
I,
that phone
well,
call?
okay, so I was just like, what? First, I was kind of shocked a little bit, and I was like, "Oh yeah, girl, count me in," because that was easy for me, because I know about the product, I know what it can do, and so I mean, they were gonna put my grandma on dialysis at
Mm,
89 years old, but she
wow,
didn't have to go on dialysis.
wow, wow.
She was already old, you know, and
Right,
she
right,
passed the next year because she died of natural causes. It was
right,
nothing that was wrong with her, you know. She just passed away. I was There's nothing else I could say. I mean,
right, right.
that's what it was.
Wow. So it was familiar to you.
Mhm.
You were a part of it the first time around. As a matter of fact, as we were talking
Yes,
today, remember the first video, right?
I remember
Talk
them. It was a movie. They made a movie. It's. I'm gonna have to send it to you. I'm gonna.
yeah,
I'm gonna. It's the. I think it's something about Johnny Lingo, but it's a movie. I'll send it to you.
really.
I have it in my phone. I looked for it not long ago to send it to my daughter because she wanted to show it to her daughter, and she
Oh
was like,
my,
"This is a movie. We watched this movie as kids, and it was about it was really good." And
oh,
so they had a movie. They had like some other products that we love, like these shoes, and that's the first thing when I said to my kids that I was gonna sell Noni again. They were like, "They got them shoes," and I was like, "No, I don't have no shoes, but they
you know what?
don't have it." I asked. I said, "I asked."
Wow, and it's interesting that you mentioned that because I've heard people mention shoes, and I'm like, what shoes? Like that must be some other product because I don't know anything about any shoes, but I get it. People who are familiar, that was a great word that you used, who are familiar with the
Mhm.
noni when it came out many many years ago. It was because we had the noni shoes. Boy, it'd be nice. We need to do hint
Mhm.
hint clue clue. They need to bring those back. Sound like that, right?
That would
Wow.
be great.
That would be awesome.
So
So
yes, it
that's
was.
powerful to know
Mhm.
that you were a part of it from the very beginning. And now look at God bringing you back to it. It's like it's crossing your path all over again. And it's in a season in your life in which, you know what, so many things are happening and you understand a whole lot more, even about this industry that I know that we're going to talk about. So let's talk about, what was going on in your life, just in general, physically, and to make you really even more excited about saying yes to bringing Noni back.
Well, so at first I was a little sad because I wish I still had the Noni because I had just lost both of my parents. Like
Mm,
prior to my mom had died in March and my dad had passed in December. So
mm,
at that point I was like, man, I wish I had known that I could have got my hands on this product before now because both my parents died from cancer. So it was kind of hurtful. But then I had to realize God does things in his time and not in ours. And
right,
so the reason why they had cancer is because of the things that they did to their body. It wasn't anything that God did. It's what they
right,
did to their bodies, what they put in their bodies, and they weren't thinking about it. They were just living, and so I can't be so mad about it. But I was like,
right,
maybe I can save somebody else though, like, hmm,
right,
like
right.
I can share this with a whole lot of people. So my tagline when I
Hmm.
joined was that my goal is to get one bottle of Noni in the refrigerator of everybody that I know and I love.
Wow, wow. You know what? I love that because that's your commitment to us
Mhm,
impacting 1 million lives.
mhm,
And that should be the mindset that all of us have because it's not by chance. Every single time that I hear a story, and I'm truly blessed to have people like yourself on this platform, and just in general, when I hear the stories every single day, it really makes me even more thankful that God has really giving me an opportunity to be a part of this, because this is so much bigger than network marketing. It's so much bigger than even the business. It truly is something in which we are really bringing health back to people all over the entire world. To those who have that mindset, who are open to realizing that they don't have to suffer. They don't have to be in pain. And I can relate to you, as I can remember what I went through with my mom. And I truly believe that it could have helped her. My dad was
Yeah.
a different story. He lived to be 96, and he was like your grandmother. And when he left here, he wasn't sick. He just was,
Mm-hmm.
God just said, it's time to come on home.
Listen.
But I watched my mom suffer, and I
Yeah.
watched her memory completely go away, and she didn't know us anymore, and dealing with that disease. And that was the most difficult time. But and again, I truly believe that that's why God has truly ordained this very moment for us to be back in this game, bringing back
Mm-hmm.
this juice, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So your health. Let's talk about that. So
Woo.
what was going on? Where
Depression, anxiety, overweight, high blood pressure, pre-diabetic, a lot of joint pain, carpal tunnel,
wow,
you name it.
wow. So you had a lot going on.
My
All right.
knees, inflammation, all kinds of stuff.
Wow. So you had a lot that was going on in your body from a
Hmm.
physical perspective. On
Hmm.
top, I know that you have an incredible weight loss story that we're going to talk about. And I know that it all played a part. Once you begin to
Hmm.
lose the weight, everything else starts to line up. And many people around the world are battling with a lot of the things that you were battling with prior to saying yes. And I just want to say to everybody that's watching, that this is Deneen's personal testimony, and that she is sharing with everyone on today. And what we're really excited about is that these products, they work, and they're going to vary from person to person depending on your situation and the products and the things that you are dealing with in your body. But one thing we could truly say is that this Tahitian noni is something that we have really never seen anything like it before, on where so many people are grabbing a hold of it, and it really is going down into your system on a cellular level. So no matter what your body is going through, you hear Deneen talking about the joint pain, the pain in our hands. Noni is known to go directly to your joints, and you pretty much see it pretty quickly, right? Like when it comes time to the
Yes.
pain, Deneen, that you had in your body, from your knees to your hands. Was it in your hands, right? With your wrist
It was in my
area?
hands is when I noticed it first because I braid. So
Right.
my hands used to lock up in the middle of me braiding hair. So I had to stop braiding for a minute. And I was like, this is my bread and butter. I have to braid hair. And so
Mm,
I said, I wonder if it's going to help me. And so I started drinking it. The gabapentin that they gave me didn't work for me. My arm would go dead in the middle of the night while I was asleep. I would wake up and literally have to lift my arm up to move it. I had to pick it up myself to move it around because it was numb from my fingertips all the way up into the top of my shoulder. It was numb. So I didn't know what was going on. He just said it's just poor circulation and carpal tunnel mixed together. I was like, that's horrible. What can I do? He was like, physical therapy and maybe get surgery. If I get surgery on my hands, how am I going? I might not be able to use them anymore because that
right.
carpal tunnel surgery is 50-50. I've known
Oh,
people who had that surgery and they can't use their hands no more. They can't work. So what I'm
wow.
supposed to do? I need my hands to work.
Right, right. No, absolutely. And that's your livelihood. So
Yes.
to know that you was going through that, and I know you're not the only hairstylist out there that could battle with that, because you're on your feet all day long, you're using
Yes.
your hands, and eventually things can happen. And if things happen, that affects your entire household, right? That it affects your finance. That's going to affect everything, your mind, your body, your money. It's going to affect everything, just simply because it all comes together. When you can't take care of yourself and your family, now everything else begins to shift.
Yeah, it's like
So
a domino effect.
you're going through this, you're having this pain.
Mhm.
how long how long did it take before you noticed a difference in the pain
Um, okay,
in your
so we're talking about March. Then it was, let me see, so May, June. Mama died in March. So May, so like June, July. Round about my birthday, which was in July, I
Mhm.
was like, I don't have no. I say my arm didn't go to sleep last night. Like I woke up in the middle of the night, went to the bathroom, I was fine, went back to sleep, and I wrote up. I say, wait a minute.
Oh wow.
So it was probably about a month and a half, like almost, yeah, about a month and a half. I
Really?
realized that I didn't have that numbness anymore.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
In a month and a half.
in a month and a half.
So it sounds like, and I mean, and you, I mean, this was serious for you. Like you had some serious pain, numbness
Yeah,
and everything. And
and that
so,
was before I was drinking bottles of the stuff. I was only drinking 2 to 4 ounces a day. I wasn't drinking as much as I drink now. I was drinking the recommended dosage according to the information that we had received on all of our trainings.
wow. Wow. So the 2 to 4 ounces, and we're gonna get so 'cause a lot of people like to know, okay, how much noni were you drinking at the time to actually experience the
Hmm.
difference? So to everybody that's listening in, she was taking the recommended amount, like 2 ounces, two to
Or
four
more.
ounces a day,
Hmm.
is what she was drinking at that time, and she began to notice a difference, right? So the pain in a month and a half, she woke up, and Deneen's like, wait a minute, what's going on, right? And and I can relate to that, Deneen, because it was my needs for me, right?
Uh-huh.
I couldn't bend down and get back up without any pain. And then in 3 days it happened for me. And I'm like, wait a minute, I can squat. Not that I like to squat. I do them because of the goals. But at the end of the day, I'm like, now I can actually squat with no pain. So I was like, what is this stuff? And that's what really excited me
Hmm.
because I saw it take away my pain when I watched my dad have bilateral knee replacement, and then he ended up in a wheelchair for the last his last days, and my brother had bilateral knee replacement, and I didn't want to be the next person getting knees replaced, right? So I was excited. So you saw the pain in a month and a half. So what else was happening with the knee?
So I couldn't get on my knees on my bed to even change my ceiling fan. I would have to call my daughter Angel to come in and change it from light to fan or whatever. I couldn't get on my knees. The pain was unbearable until one day I didn't realize I was doing it myself. I got on the bed on my knees, changed my fan, laid back down, and it probably was probably about 2 days later. I said, "Wait a minute, I didn't change my own fan. My knees don't hurt no more."
So you listen, you're the queen of just saying, huh,
Yeah, I'm like,
wait a minute. Oh my gosh.
because I
So,
don't be thinking like that. I don't be really noticing stuff unless it just got. I guess God be knocking me in my head like, girl, pay attention. You need these testimonies, girl. Pay attention. I'm fixing you.
oh my goodness. Wow. So one day you just woke up and you're like, oh my gosh, I just changed my fan and I didn't have to call my
I
daughter
didn't
to
have to
do
call Angel. I didn't have to call, and I know she said my mom is so worrisome, but I didn't have to call her, so I know she happy.
it.
So, and I
Yeah.
have not had no problem since.
Wow, no more problems. No, that's
No.
huge. Because people are, pain is debilitating, and so many people deal with pain, and have to live with it, chronic pain, and to know that we have God's gift, all right? Because we call this juice God's gift, truly God's gift in our hand, and it's helping people with some serious issues literally feel good again. And that's huge, to know that you were going through that type of pain and now no more pain, right? And you just
Hmm.
woke up and you're like, "Phew, I'm better," right? So you also mentioned that some other things that you were dealing with, because you did mention that you had gone through a period in life in which, you know, um, you were not the happiest, right? You were going through
I
depression
was
and things
very
like
sad. I was
that, right?
very, very
And
sad.
you were very sad, right?
Yeah, very
And
sad.
so that ended up shifting some other things in your body. So let's talk
Mhm.
about some of the other things that you were going through health wise and how the noni helped you and some of the things that you do as far as you mentioned your regimen that you
Mhm.
do once a month. So
Mhm.
let's talk about some of those things.
So, well, I went through a period of depression, a relationship that just didn't work out, 21-year relationship, and it just wasn't a good fit. I was very sad, and I just was depressed and all the time, just a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of thinking that I wasn't, good enough, wasn't worthy, a lot of that, a lot of self doubt.
Right.
And I really needed, I mean, and then my hormones are all over the place because I had a hysterectomy in 2014. So
Mm,
it was just a lot going on in my body. And so I think that me ingesting the juice helped to give me my happy point, my happy place back because I started feeling better. I started
wow.
feeling better about me. I never stopped putting on clothes. I'm always put some clothes on.
Uh-huh.
But
Right.
I just I just didn't feel my happiest when I was getting dressed. I just would look in the mirror like feeling sad, like how did my life end up like this? I thought it was all planned out. It was gonna be this, this, and this. And feel like
Mhm.
somebody had snatched the rug up from under me, but it was God. Girl,
Now you see it. It was God, right?
yeah,
You don't see it at
it
the
was
moment.
God.
None of us do. When we going through different things in life, we don't see
Nope.
it at the moment, but usually it's God, right? Protecting
It
us.
was all God. When I
Yeah.
tell you, I can't take no credit for that. It was oh God. Thank you, God.
See, look at you laughing about it now. See, you can
Yes.
smile, right?
Thank you,
Right.
God.
Absolutely.
So
Be
yeah,
greater
so
than challenge.
that was something that I went through, but I'm thankful that I did try some of the other products. I was thankful for that because they
Mhm.
gave me some excellent results.
Right. So you also mentioned that because even in your story that we share all the time, that when you started the because you shifted from the noni, I know that
Mhm.
you also have taken our skinny drops,
Mhm.
but your pressure levels, right?
Yes.
They've been able. So let's talk about what the products have been able to do, and then let's talk about get into the skinny drops and what that product has been able to do for you.
And okay, so I tell you that, but I forgot to tell you about the mower. So you got to add more. So it's 10 products.
Oh, 10? Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Got the mower too. That's another powerful product that I can tell you is a game changer. Yeah, I had somebody call me the other day and they were so excited about that mower, they didn't know what to do with themselves. Right? So, oh my goodness. So it looks like our guest might be having some technical difficulties. So as she comes back on, right? I just want to just go ahead and keep it moving and keep sharing, about some of these other products because Deneen has an incredible story that literally is a game changer. And so not only has the Tahitian Noni been able to change her life, but you heard her mention that she takes about 10 of our products here at Partner Co. And I could tell you that the drops that she's going to talk to you guys about in just a moment is truly a system in which you heard Deneen mention how her hormones are out of whack, right? Her hormones were out of whack. She had to have a complete hysterectomy many, many years ago. But I could tell you that these drops, we call them skinny drops, but they're really not skinny drops. They are hormone body balancing drops. And so what they are going to do is they are going to go in your body, and no matter what you're dealing with, it's going to help to balance those hormones. So, it speeds up your metabolism. They are truly going to support your thyroid. And if you need to lose the weight, then you will lose the weight. Losing weight is a byproduct of this product. There are people out there where you hear that Deneen also shared that she wasn't the happiest person even prior to saying yes to this. She lost both of her parents, right? And that's a lot to go through. It's a lot losing one, but she lost both in a very short time frame, which means you're not going to be the happiest person. But guess what? These drops, people who don't need to lose the weight at all, they're taking these drops and they're balancing their hormones and they're happier. they're dealing with situations in which normally they would have been uptight and anxious in, and they're no longer anxious. So it's an incredible system that's really balancing our hormones. And if you're that person who's struggling with weight loss, because we're going to pull up Deneen's weight loss story in just a moment, then you need these drops because your hormones are probably out of balance. All right. And if they're out of balance, you're going to struggle with losing the weight. And if you lose the weight, this is the reason why so many people end up putting the weight back on, just simply because of the fact that they end up putting the weight back on just simply because their hormones are completely out of whack. So we have our beautiful guest back on.
Listen, I'm gonna call Cox tomorrow, and we gonna have a fit. You hear me?
Oh, let me tell you, we got Cox too, and we have a neighborhood app, and people do nothing but complain. Okay.
I'm gonna get them tomorrow because that was disrespectful.
But that's okay. That's okay. I kept it going.
Okay,
So
good, good, good. So the
we were getting
products that I
down talking
use.
about skinny drops, right?
Okay,
I
we're
was
gonna
talking
start
about
with the
the
skinny
skinny
drop.
drop, and
Got you.
kind of intro your story a little bit.
Okay, good. So I started using the skinny drops because I saw two of my friends were in the business. I saw them using it, and I saw what it did for them, and I was like, I'm gonna try it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made up my mind in December after seeing two of them, three of them actually, one guy and two girls. After seeing them in December at our Christmas party, I was like, this can't be the same people I saw in September. And it was. And I was like, y'all got to be kidding me. And they gave me the keys to the kingdom, okay? And so I said, come January when they have that challenge, I'm going to take it and I'm going to win. I'm going to take it, I'm going to win. And I
Mm.
put all I could into it. So it was the skinny drops and it was the noni. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I started out with. But as I started, I was like, I'm missing a detox. So I added the Restorix.
Okay.
So I was like, wait a minute. So and then I was like, well, I suffer from inflammation. So why not use the moa? I added the moa, but I needed some protein, right?
Oh,
So I saw you and Nate doing those protein shakes. And so I said, well, I like the chocolate. So I'm gonna do the pure nourish and I'm gonna add the power boost. So that's what I did. So I added those two, right? So here we
those are
go.
great meal replacements, right? They helped
Yes,
you, I'm sure. Mm-hmm.
because I'm in the salon and I don't want to miss no meals. So that
Right.
I would either use it for breakfast or I would use it for dinner.
Okay.
Because I
Okay.
didn't have a problem with lunch. Lunch was easy. I could take my lunch. But I
Mm-hmm.
would use it for a breakfast before I left home or for dinner when I got home. And sometimes I
Okay.
had one for breakfast and for dinner. But I made sure I only used almond milk. I didn't use nothing else,
Okay.
either water or almond milk. And I
And
still
that's
put a little bit of noni in it too.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
I've tried it with the noni too. And I love the fact that you mentioned that you didn't put anything else in it besides the protein and either milk or water
Mhm.
and possibly the noni, because a lot
Mhm.
of times we don't realize, and I know even Nate had to mention this to me a couple times, is that because I was real big at one point in blending my fruit in my protein shakes. Then I realized that's the worst thing you could do, because even though we're not adding sugar, fruit has natural sugar. And when
Yes.
you blend it, it gets worse. Okay. So, blending fruit, ladies and gentlemen, if you are on weight loss goals and you're drinking shakes, do not blend your sugar, because you are literally releasing all of this sugar and you're spiking your blood sugar levels. And now, that's the epitome of now packing on the pounds, right? But these skinny drops are so powerful because they're going to attack that visceral fat, all right? That fat that, around that belly fat that literally 70% of disease starts in our gut, right? So therefore, we got to take care of the gut and get rid of this belly fat in order to really be as healthy as we all need to be, right?
Mhm.
So you started with the drops and you take
Mhm.
a lot of products. So you really represent, you're like us, you represent the complete line of Partner Code. Now, we're not
Yes.
telling anybody that you got to be on all these products, but we do it because you know what? Well, that's what we do. And in order to really be be genuine about these products that we promote, we got to experience them, right? So I love the fact that you are truly a product of the product, and it's showing. So let's
Right.
talk about the commitment that you committed to in January, right? Because we were talking about these drops, and both Deneen and I, we shared how prior to January, we both had tried the drops, and we didn't really get the results that we wanted. Okay,
Yep.
we really didn't. And I can tell you, I know why I didn't, because you got to commit to these drops. And as Deneen and I, we were talking, she mentioned something, and I'm going to let her share it. But you got to commit. It comes with a meal plan, they come with a recipe book, and you got to cut out the sugars and the carbs. And you really have to commit to this system. So let's talk about
Okay. So my
what you
son
committed
had
to.
moved out in December, and I said, so I'm cleaning up, and so I found something that I had purchased during the
Yeah.
pandemic that I was like, I never even used it. I had never used it. It was still in the box. And I was like, I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna use this for my weight loss. This is gonna be my workout. So now I've committed to the program. I've committed to working out. So now I have to commit to the whole entire system. And that
Uh-huh.
is, what am I gonna eat? So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I'm looking at the book. I said, okay, well, I'm looking at, so in the book, I'm looking at the meal plan and stuff. I said,
Uh-huh.
oh, so I'm seeing that it's mostly, there's meat and there's a lot of vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, okay. So I committed to no white potatoes, no dairy,
There
no
you go.
bread, no rice, no sugar. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I
That's
only
me.
eat vegan cheese and I only eat plant based butter.
Wow.
So well, all of that, I was, and no pasta. I'm forgetting no pasta. So out of all of that, I'm changing what I eat. So I eat skinny pasta. I eat red lentil pasta. I eat skinny rice. I change all of that. I eat sweet potatoes instead of white potato. It's
Uh-huh.
all of the things that you are supposed to change. You have to
Right.
change it. So
Right.
change starts here in your mind. You have to reset your
Absolutely.
mind. A mind reset.
Mind reset. That right there, that's key. And you became the hula hoop queen, right? Every time we share your stories. Matter of fact, let me tell you, eh, when you shared your January story, 30 days, and I'm gonna pull it up in just a minute. I can tell you that an explosion happened all across social media, right? But I said, Lord, I said, if Deneen would have had an affiliate link for that hula hoop, you would have made a killing, because everybody was running to get a hula hoop. And I don't know if I told you or not, but I bought one too. To do it, I could not figure it out. Every time I try to go, my little hips don't keep it going. It stops. So I was like, I need a lesson.
I'm gonna have to teach you. I got you.
I'm gonna bring mine to Orlando,
I'm
okay? So
bringing mine too.
that we can have us the whole session, right?
Yes.
That's a whole reel, right? But
Yes.
everybody bought it because you had an incredible story. So let's talk about you committed to the system, and
Mhm.
what was your weight loss goal during that
Okay,
January?
so listen, y'all. I just want to lose some weight. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't have. I just said, listen. I just want to be summertime fine. I didn't have no point of where I wanted to end up. I was just like, Lord, just make me a believer. And I'm gonna tell
Right.
y'all, I allowed the Holy Spirit to lead me through this whole journey. When He said, "Don't get on that scale unless I tell you to," I did not get on that scale. I'm gonna tell you why. Because most time we do a program. Every 2 days, we get on the scale every morning, every night. No, you have to get on the scale the same time, the same day. And you
Right.
have to make sure it's not so many days. You got to give your body time because you go up and down in weight. When you're in
That's
weight loss program, you're going up and down, you're losing inches, you're going up and down, you're losing inches, up and down, you're losing inches. That's how it go. So if you
mhm,
get on it every day, you're trying to see how many pounds you lost. This may be a bloated day. This may be a down day. You may have lost a whole lot of weight. So I got on the
mhm.
scale every time he told me to get up. When I wake up, he'd say, use the bathroom and get on the scale. And I would do that. Get your phone. And I would get my phone and take a picture. Take the
Wow.
picture. That's why
Wow.
some days I didn't have no socks on because he didn't give me a chance to cover my little ratchet toes.
But that's okay. You was getting results, right?
Yes.
So
Whew.
so so during that January challenge, how much weight did you lose?
I lost 47 pounds.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I need you to say that one more time because somebody watching this right now, they don't even believe that those words just came out of your mouth. How much
Okay,
weight
so
you
look, it's not typical, y'all. I was
lost?
going through some grief. I had
Right,
lost both of my parents, and it's not typical for you to lose 47 pounds in 1 month. I lost 47 pounds. And when I sent it to Lanika, she was like, wait a minute. She started doing the math, the same thing that I did. We did the math. I sent her both of the scales. I said, listen, this was the beginning, and this was just now. As soon as I got that scale, I sent it to her. And we were both screaming, what? What?
wow. Wow. I'm gonna tell you what, every time your story come out of my mouth, because we share it every time we talk about these products. I'm like, listen, now Deneen's story is not typical, but she lost 47 pounds in 1 month. And you all can see her incredible before and after story on the screen. And I can tell you, and all I say is she just stood there with that hula hoop around her waist doing this for 30 minutes a day. And look what happened. And I love the fact that you said, you know what, you didn't get on the scale like that
I
because so
didn't.
many times, and I was bad at that too, where I would always
Mhm.
get on the scale and Nate would just be sitting back, like shaking his head. But you know what? We have to realize that many times the scale, you may not get the scale wins, but you get the waistline, you get the inches
Mhm.
wins, right? And
Yep.
that's what began to happen with you. And so, congratulations on that story. But you know what? I want to pull up this one because as you kept going, that was just 1 month. That
So
was that was just 1 month. But you kept sipping, you kept taking these products, you kept taking the drops. You like you Deneen, like this, taking the drops and everything. And so to date, okay, to date, how much weight have you lost since January?
74 pounds.
What?
74 pounds.
4 pounds. Can y'all really hear me? She just said 74 pounds. So let me ask you this. You've been able to keep it off because you lost this like a couple months ago. You've been able to keep it off and maintain. Go ahead.
Every day,
You take it
three
every
times a
day.
day.
You still
I
take it.
rest for 2 days and then
You
I go
rest.
right back at it. I start again tomorrow.
Wow. So every day you take these drops. And you know what? And that would explain why it's a 28-day supply because you're
Mhm.
supposed to rest those 2 days. And we do highly recommend that if you have weight loss goals, that you commit to this system for 90 days at
Mhm.
least, to really get it into your system. You're gonna start to
Yep.
see the results and the wins from it. But definitely you can see that this has been the game changer in for Deneen and being able to maintain. And now you just told me, as we were talking, and you're going to take this thing to the next level, right? So,
I got to be ready for PXP.
right. And I love it because that was me. Like my scale stopped moving.
Mhm.
And these drops really was the game changer. And I never knew that it was because my hormones were out of whack. And that's what I was talking about. These are the game changer when it comes time to being
Yep.
able to lose the weight and keep it off because your hormones need to be fixed. So let me show this next picture because look at Deneen in this black dress. Y'all, we want you to understand that this was Deneen in December. All
Yeah.
right. I remember this because we took a picture together too. All
Yes,
right.
we did.
But look at Deneen in the same dress.
Yep.
When was this picture taken? When did you take
That
this one?
that's what we're taking in April.
In April. Y'all, that's 4 months. That is crazy. Wow. Congratulations. Your story is
Same dress.
such an inspiration to so many people around the world, to that person who is struggling. Like, how did it make you feel? Because so many people
Um,
really are on this yo-yo when it comes time to weight loss. And we talked about that a little bit too.
mhm.
You know, how,
Um, I felt accomplished. I felt like I really did something special. Like, after not being able to lose it for so long and then it just melt away. And all I did was just tweak a few things. And people say, well, I can't eat no pasta. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. I mean, it's not a death sentence. I mean,
Right. Being unhealthy,
it's
right,
a
and
death
dealing with
sentence.
all the issues in your body, really, for
That's a
real,
death
it's a
sentence.
death sentence. We got to take control of our health for real.
Yeah.
Right.
But one day down the line, if you decide to have a bowl of spaghetti, I don't think anybody's gonna chop your head off.
Right.
But you have
Right.
to be able to prepare your body to be able to ingest that, because after not eating it for so long, you don't want to eat a bowl and then blow up like Professor Clump.
Right. No, you're right.
You
And
change the product.
yeah, and it's a mindset, just like you said.
Yeah.
Once
Mhm.
you shift your mindset, you no longer really desire those things. I can attest for that because when I cut out meat, I shifted my mindset. So I cook meat because my whole family eats meat, but I don't have the desire to eat it yet. With the drops, there's things that I cut out, but when I want it, it's all about doing things in moderation,
Mhm.
right? Because I will go. I found these little ice creams that are keto approved, right? And I eat them, right? So I eat the things that I like, but it's in moderation, and that's the
Mhm.
key. Because when you change your mindset, everything else begins to change, right?
Yep,
So
that's right.
wow. So congratulations on this. But I do want to, before we shift a little bit, because I know that we're going to be closing this out pretty soon. I want you to talk about, because you shared with me a regimen that you do every single month, which I thought was very powerful because uh, the fact that you said that you're hairstylist, so you're around a lot of people. And one thing when it comes time to the Tahitian noni is we know that there is a clinical study out there that proves that it inhibits the disease, right? The SARS disease that literally shut down the world back in 2020, that people are still battling with today. And we lost so many of our loved ones to, this disease. And so you said that you do a regimen every month to really
Mhm.
infuse your body. So let's talk
Mhm.
about that for a moment.
Every month I drink 4 bottles. Ever since we went to Orlando last year and I came back, I drank 4 bottles then, and that was because of the training that we had from someone that was from Cynthia Black. She told us about infusing the body. So I started doing that. So every time, even when I came back from Raleigh, I drank 4 bottles. And then when I went to Florida in February, 4 bottles. So I'm around a lot of people. I have a lot of customers. So then from Florida in February, I started doing it every month, because like
Mm,
every the beginning of every month. So at first it was just doing it when I come back from an event, but since February I've been doing it every month. The beginning of the month, I drink 4 bottles, a bottle a day for the first 4 days.
wow. You know
A
what? And
bottle.
that's huge because it helps with our immune system. So
Mm-hmm.
you're infusing your body, getting it really deep down into your immune system in order to not just protect yourself, but also to protect your clients because you're around so many
Yes.
people. And that's huge, in the industry that you're in, and just for people in general. But we do want to say that, you know what, you can't consume too much noni. That's one thing. It's a superfood. It's an incredible juice. And if you're battling with chronic issues in your body, we highly recommend you doing this infusion, getting this into your system, because your body needs to have that opportunity to kind of reset and shift. And so that noni infusion is powerful because we've seen it really help people who are battling chronic issues and disease, because Tahitian noni, there's so many stories of it really helping people, who are battling bad cancer, or bad cells in their body, I should say, in which they have to deal with treatments related to those bad cells. And even it has the capability of shrinking, growths, of that are not supposed to be inside your body. It has those capabilities. So we've never seen anything like it. So thanks for sharing that. Well, I know we could talk all night about your story, because you said you have so much power on the inside of you, and so many things that God has really been able to bring you out of, because we talked about your toe, right? You broke your toe.
I broke my toe June, the beginning of June, and in 3 weeks I had shoes on because I soaked my feet in noni and I drank noni.
You know what? And that's huge, because what we didn't mention is that not only can you consume the noni, but you could use it in over 100 different ways. And
Mm-hmm.
when Deneen shared with me, she broke her toe, and the doctor said it would be a while before she would be able to put her shoe back on. In 3 weeks, because she soaked her toe, right, in her foot, in the noni, you can do that. And guess what? she was able to beat the odds of what the doctor was telling her. And so we see story after story of people who battle inflammation in their feet, of literally it beginning to take all of the inflammation out, and they're feeling better and they're walking better and they're able to do things. So you can use it on your skin. If you got a headache, you can put it on your head. I have that story of my headache going away in 10 minutes from a stress headache from being in front of the computer all day. So no matter what it is, you can use this noni for, right? When you mentioned infusing it to help with your immune system, one of the things that I do when we go around a lot of people is I make the nasal spray, and I
Okay.
spray it up my nose, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that it helped me, because I came back fine, So I absolutely love what the noni does for us alongside so many of these other products, right? So let's shift, because it helped with your sugar levels, your weight loss, your joint pain, right? From your
The
knee
blood
to
pressure.
your shoulder, your blood pressure, even
Hmm.
you mentioned your A1C, right?
Yes.
Brought that down, and all of that good stuff. People know how much you take every single day, because even though you do those infusions once a month, then you told me that you go back to like two to
Two to
four
four
ounces
ounces a day.
a day.
Hmm.
So everybody knows that if you're asking the questions on do you have to continue to drink a bottle a day? No, you do not. Okay. You drink as much as you can afford if you're battling something, chronic in your body. But let's talk about the fact that you just didn't say yes to being a customer, but you said yes to being a brand partner.
Of
And as
course.
we celebrate you, right? We celebrate you all right now, and we get ready to celebrate you even more as you all cross the stage, and so many people cross the stage at PXP coming up in September. Congratulations, you are a new officer
Yes.
here
Thank
in
you.
our team, here in our company, and we just celebrate you on that incredible success. And let's talk about that, because you've been able to also change your life financially here, right?
Yes. Yes. I've been able to pay my mortgage. I've been able to pay my half of the rent at the shop. I've been able to pay, light bill. We got 2 light bills. We got 2 water bills. We got, double everything. So I paid my car note. I mean, I've been able to, I didn't show you, did I show you my birthday present? Oh, bought
No.
myself a Coach briefcase.
Okay. All right. I'll shout it a little bit too. Right.
and, this, and this computer I'm on.
I love it. I
Thank you,
love it.
Monica.
I love it. You know what? And that is, one of the greatest things about this industry is that it is a game changer, to where you could really bridge the gap in your household, depending on
Mhm.
what people want. Deneen, it's something that you can do on a part-time basis, and just to create that extra 250 coming in your house. Or you could be like Deneen, in which you selling product every day, and you creating them comma checks coming into your household every single week. It really is open to what you want to do with it. And now so many people are able to do the things that they ordinarily would not have been able to do if they were just, doing the traditional things that the world
Mhm.
teaches us to do. And so you've been able to pay your bills. And that's huge,
Yeah.
because we're in a time right now where people are really struggling. The economy is up, cost of living, gas prices, food prices. I was just running in from the store earlier today, and I can tell you, we get a fraction of the food now today than what we did, back in the day. And it's just crazy how things shift.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, last night we were watching a movie, and then Nate got up, and I was just playing with the remote, and I ended up on like live TV, and it came up on The Price is Right. Oh my gosh. My I used to watch this with grandma, and so I kept it on for just a few moments. And as I watched this lady win a car, and she been on it, that the car and the whole showcase was $3,000. And I was like, my goodness, times have changed, right? You're not getting nobody's car. You getting a bike for $3,000. But real
No.
talk, this has truly been able to bridge the gap.
Yep.
in your household. And so congratulations on that, because to anybody that's watching, this is an opportunity in which you can really get back with the person who invited you on here tonight. And whether it's just about your health, then definitely say yes to these products because they are life changing. But if you're looking for a way to bridge the gap in your household or create some freedom, or even thinking about legacy, or just helping other people, your family members, as Deneen mentioned, she made a pact that she is going to get this noni into the hands, the households of every single person that she knows, because she knows what it will do for their health. Maybe that's you. Either way, we want to let you know that the time is now. So as we close this out on tonight, Deneen, you have any closing words that you want to share on this evening?
All I can say is this is the best decision that I have made since going to hair school.
Wow.
This is the best decision that I've made for myself, my family, and my future. So I'm able to leave a legacy for my grandchildren. So I think this is the best place for you. I'm just going to say, welcome home.
I know that's right. Welcome home, everybody. We want to say to everybody that has jumped on this evening, congratulations on your yes. Congratulations that you are simply making a decision and understanding that your health is your greatest wealth. And if you decide to partner with us, we say welcome home either way, whether it's to be a customer or to be a brand partner, because we know without a shadow of a doubt that we will impact 1 million lives across the entire world. It's not a question of will we get it done. It's the question of will you
Yep.
get back with the person who invited you on here
That's
tonight
right.
and say, I will be one. So thank you so much, Deneen, for coming on here with me this evening. And to everybody out there, we can't wait to celebrate your story. All right. So get back with whoever invited you on here
Right.
tonight. Say yes to you, and we can't wait to see you all at the top. All right. So good evening and great evening to everybody out there. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Deneen. You
Thank you.
were amazing.
Thank you. That was
Yes,
fun.
yes,
That was a
absolutely.
lot of fun.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See y'all.
Share this out. Share it to somebody as we continue to change lives. Good night, everybody.